Na 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 moonlight, na 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 in the sky, na 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 you say, na 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 popcorn, na 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 moonlight, na 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 in the sky, na 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 you say, na 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 popcorn.
Hey guys, this is Juju Talk Sports. I'm joined, of course, by C Money. This is a special episode of Get Your Popcorn. We've already reviewed this movie, but in light of recent events, we felt it was only appropriate that we revisit it. 2013's 42, the biopic about Jackie Robinson, starring Chadwick Boseman, who unfortunately lost at the age of 43 to a long battle of cancer. So we wish him and his family our best. Certainly all our prayers in light of this tragic news. But it would be only appropriate to look at a role that's underappreciated by him. Jackie Robinson, his portrayal in 42 was fantastic. A lot of people just associate him, obviously, with Black Panther. So starting off, C Money, how do you feel about this movie?
Oh, well, during my first review of it, I gave it a home run. Just Chadwick Boseman, man, just talking about him, his death was just like, it's hard to think about because he had cancer all these years and nobody had any idea. And of course, everybody associate him with Black Panther, but he had a lot of really good roles. Jackie Robinson, Marshall, he was in that Netflix movie, Message to the King. He was a really great actor. Chadwick just looked like he had that swagger to him. Like he looked like the type of actor that could light up a set, and he was the type that could play any role, and that's why I like 42 a lot. To me, it's his best movie that I've seen.
I think that's why they chose him for the role of Jackie Robinson, because if you actually look at some Jackie Robinson interviews, Chadwick Boseman actually hits it to a T. If you look at the old school footage of them interviewing Jackie Robinson, it's pretty much in line. It's perfect portrayal. And even so much as Jackie Robinson's widow, his descendants, all really were sad at the passing of Chadwick this past week, and really loved his portrayal of the Hall of Famer. It's crazy to me. His death actually happened on baseball's Jackie Robinson Day, which was delayed this year because of the coronavirus pandemic. So unique time, unique circumstances, just the irony in that. But we're focusing here on the movie. Let's focus on what we liked about it. So I felt like not only Chadwick Boseman's portrayal of Jackie Robinson was fantastic, but also when you look at Harrison Ford, his role as Branch Rickey, I felt like the interplay between the two was on point and very much needed between the two stars. You needed that chemistry, right? Because Branch Rickey obviously had such a role within within Jackie Robinson's ascent to the major leagues. Now, you could say with Branch that it wasn't necessarily for the most honorable of purposes why he wanted Jackie Robinson in professional baseball as that we knew it at the time. Obviously, there was some monetary incentive behind it because he says that at the start of the movie. Black dollars are just as meaningful as white dollars, basically. And that's why Jackie Robinson was encouraged to come into the league. And you see a lot of the vitriol that he receives in the stands, not just from the opposing teams, but even from his own fans. And then that even goes down to his teammates. There was even a petition started in the movie, which of course happened in real life, in which they wanted Jackie off of the team. Now, I know one of your favorite moments going back to it, and one of my favorite moments was whenever he was in spring training, is when the writer, the publicist, gets him in his car late at night, late in the evening, and Jackie Robinson's only concern was, oh, I thought it was cut from the team. I didn't realize that people were making racist threats against me.
Yeah, exactly. I just thought it was so funny because they kept that you're not good, you're gonna get cut from the team, and that the team in general just wants to cut out the weakest link. But the publicist part, that was hilarious. And what I liked about the publicist was that he was on Jackie Robinson's side the whole time. Even if Jackie Robinson was in danger, he was always there to get him out of the situation. I really like that dynamic. And Harrison Ford even had a really good role in it. Harrison Ford, I feel like his acting has gone way better. But yeah, like it's crazy how when you think about this movie, how important it is, especially with things going on right now. Like
Yeah.
all year we've been having the race issues, police brutality, we've been having those issues. So like I feel like this movie right now is on the list of really important movies to watch.
Yeah, no, I think it's important to not lose track of how far we've come as a society when we
Mm.
try and think about where we are now. Because are we better or worse than we were when this movie was set? I would say we're for the better, because certainly we don't see managers from other major league organizations yelling on the sideline some of the racial slurs that Ben Chapman's character, who was played by, as we mentioned before, Pirate Steve.
Oh, Steve the Pirate,
Yeah,
Ellen.
Steve the
Ellen
Pirate.
Tudyk.
Certainly, we don't have any managers like that yelling stuff on the sidelines anymore. So I think that is a huge part of the journey of where we're at with our progression towards racial equality. That we've moved a long way away from that direction, and it's for the better. And even I'll say this for Ben Chapman's role or Ellen Tudyk's role in this, it was on point. It's all not easy. It's never comfortable whenever you see an actor have to take on a role like this where he has to use racial slurs in such a way, but he does get an emotional reaction. I don't think that his role can be understated in this movie. Other key players, of course, is Pee Wee Reeves, played by Lucas Black. And one of the key moments that a lot of fans will point out is, of course, the moment where Pee Wee comes over from shortstop, meets Jackie Robinson at first base. They're playing near Pee Wee's hometown. I believe they're playing in Cincinnati that week, and Pee Wee only lives a few short miles away from there. And while you have kids in the stands yelling out slurs that they learned from their parents, Pee Wee puts his arm around Jackie and says, maybe one day we'll all wear 42, which is appropriate because similarly in baseball, we do see all the players wear 42 on Jackie Robinson Day. So that quote still holds up. There's some division if that moment actually happened in real life. Just there's some inaccuracies there, whether these players were actually at the positions they said. But either way, whether it happened, didn't happen, whether it was Hollywood magic, I think it's a fantastic moment. And you talk about us needing it in society nowadays. I think that that's a scene that you can play to a classroom of young students, and they can learn a lot from that moment.
Yeah, that's actually like my favorite scene. When I heard that Chadwick Boseman passed away, I even shared that scene, and that was like my all-time favorite scene because it just resonates with everybody. Like Lucas Black's character knew that one day everybody's gonna get better. Everybody's gonna learn to treat African Americans correctly, to take them in, to treat them like teammates. And he was right. Even though the scene probably isn't accurate, it just really was a well done and well written scene.
Yeah, as far as putting a ranking on 42. So again, we've already done this movie. We've already given our thoughts on it. I know it's easy to get lost in the moment, so I did give this a 4 out of 5, not a full home run in our rating system. So for us, that's warning track power, which I think it's a fantastic movie. I guess I just, reserve the 5-star for movies I consider perfect, pristine. There's nothing I would change about them. Of course, there is a little bit of embellishment whenever you talk about a biopic or a historical drama. Then that's, I guess, was my major pushback when we rated this movie the first time. C-Money, you want to reiterate your review?
Yeah, I'm gonna give it. Well, I already gave it a home run in the last review.
Hold up. It's out of here. That's a home run. Bye.
Yep.
See ya.
Yep, it's out of here. I'm still gonna give it that. I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed every character, his wife, Harrison Ford. Like the thing that I also liked about Harrison Ford, I'll bring it back to him, is that of course he did it for monetary gains, he did it for money, but I don't think he really realized how important it was at what he did. Even though it was for money, it had a way bigger purpose to get the first African American player into Major League Baseball.
Oh, yeah. No, that inclusion, someone had to be the first is the problem. No one wanted to be the first to bring up a player from the Negro Leagues to professional baseball, to Major League Baseball. And the fact that Branch Rickey was able to say, yes, I want African American dollars, but at the same time, I want to be the first person to take that step. He did. And, you know, other underrated characters in this movie too. Of course, Leo DeRocher, who was the manager. In many ways, it felt like he was set up with the sex scandal to get him out of there, because he was also trying to ease Jackie Robinson into the major leagues. There's a lot of important historical things that are touched on in this movie, not just Jackie Robinson, but they do talk about other players who made it to the major leagues from the Negro League, such as Satchel Paige and others. They talk about, of course, Wendell Smith's character. Actually, I do want to touch. He was the first African-American writer to be voted into the Baseball Writers Association of America. So his character should not be understated in this movie, just as important. Red Barber, I think, was a fantastic. So in many ways, I guess I was ignorant of my Dodgers history. I thought maybe Vin Scully was just this old, but no, he was playing Red Barber, who was the former play-by-play analyst of the Dodgers. And I think that John C. McKinley did a fantastic job in that role. Just he nailed the voice perfectly for the broadcast, because if you listen to old tapes of Red Barber, pretty spot on. And it's interesting actually hear historical accounts of how play-by-play analysts and colormen had to talk about Jackie Robinson when he first entered the majors. They wanted them to just talk about him as he was a normal player, not go above or beyond on stating the racial tension that it was causing the moments. And again, you know, they even highlight one of Jackie Robinson's most famous moments ever, when he stole home. And that just tells you how bold of a man he was. And it was fantastic that we got a bold actor like Chadwick Boseman to play him. But guys, that's our review of 42, our re-review, I should say. If you like this movie, let us know. Like this video, hit that subscription button, leave a comment. Again, thoughts and prayers to the Boseman family with their loss. And what a fighter, man. Just from 2016 on to keep kicking ass, whether it be as an Avenger, whether it be as one of the most famous baseball players in America. I guess we'll end this with a, what do you think? A Wakanda Forever?
I would say Wakanda Forever.
Wakanda Forever.
Wakanda Forever.
See you later.
See ya.